I've spent almost 2 decades in academic leadership, working closely with the students and educators. So I've been serving them for last 2 decades, and today my work revolves around uh, organizations, transformation, as well as advisory services. In addition, I'm working very closely with students, helping them to build their career path, their confidence, and emotional resilience. So that is my work. In addition to that, I recently registered myself in AI for leaders. So I have been reflecting on this idea, and I'm sure all of you are on same stage because I can see everybody is talking in the same area. So yes, let's have a fruitful discussion. I am going to share my ideas, and I look forward for your inputs, whether in the chat box or in person. I would love to hear you. My topic for today is the future of leadership and why the human touch is still wins in this era of AI, artificial intelligence. So we all know that we are living in the AI era, which is led by artificial intelligence. We are just part of this world. And in our professional life or personal life, if you see from morning to evening, you'll be using AI to write your emails, business proposals. So definitely, most of us have interacted with AI and we have taken some notes from there. So there is no shame in that because AI is part of our life. So we do analyze the data to get a lot of options, and then we do follow. As leaders, we get directions from AI, but then yes, as leaders, we are the ones who will choose the options. So yes, it is part of each of our life, and honestly, most of us are already using it on daily basis. But honestly, most of us are still asking the same questions, that in this era of AI, are we becoming more human as leaders or less? And I believe that I have been becoming more and more human as I started learning and using AI. So I want to all of you to be on the same page that in this automated world, choosing to remain deeply human will be the greatest leadership strength we will have, and human sensitivity will become the real competitive advantage for all of us. Now, you must have noticed that the leadership has changed over the period of time. I started my leadership journey 15 to 20 years ago, and that was the time we used to believe that leaders should know each and everything. He or she should have all the answers. It was about authority. It was about controlling the outcomes. It was about directing your team. So it was about having all the information with you. We never had to refer to anyone, and we were always controlling and directing our team that, okay, this is what you do, this is what you don't do. This is what was the past. But that model doesn't work anymore in this era. Information is everywhere. We believe that options are there, but the command has moved to collaboration. The command doesn't work anymore. As a leader, you have to collaborate with your team. That is how you get the respect. The authority has moved to authenticity. Without authenticity, nobody will respect you in this era. Whether it is current generation as well as our generation, we look for authenticity. And from managing, we have moved to inspiring people. So we cannot just manage them. Until we inspire them, they are not going to follow us. So information is no longer a currency now. It is everywhere. With the click of button, everything is available for you. So data is abundant, but across the institutions and leadership team I have worked with, one thing is very clear. AI can analyze patterns, it can predict the future, and it can automate the processes. Like we were talking about SOPs. So it can define SOPs for, let's say, HR department or any functional area. From A to Z, everything can be defined. But as a human, you have to identify what has to be done. And it can even generate the system. The whole system can be generated by AI, but it cannot build trust. It is a leader who has to build the trust. It cannot mentor a confused student. It cannot reassure a distressed employee or a team member. It is definitely cannot give you sense of purpose. It has to be done by a leader by giving a human touch to you. So leadership today is not about being the smartest person in the room. There was a time when we were supposed to be the smartest and the most intelligent and having all the information. That doesn't work anymore. You have to be most aware person at the moment, and you have to be more empathetic. You should know what your people are thinking, not only AI, but then yes, as a human, what they are feeling, what is going on in their personal life. That kind of touch is most important in this era, because somehow we are disconnected with the people now, because the technology may enhance the productivity, it can make it your organization wonderful, but only human touch, that is something which creates meaning in your life. So if we move towards only AI generated organization and just follow it, there are many risks which will be involved. If the organization become overly technology driven and less people centered, we may create a workplace which is highly advanced or highly efficient, but emotionally disconnected, which is what we are lacking now. And that is why the leader has to move towards the human touch. And this is something what we see happening in today's work culture. The conversation, you must have seen that we don't converse it anymore. We avoid, after especially COVID, we avoid having in-person meetings. We try to have meetings on team. These kind of talks we used to have in-person conferences that we don't do anymore, rarely. But then we are moving from conversations to dashboards. The leaders will ask, okay, just give me the data and a recommendation or the dashboard, and I'll just take decision. The feedbacks are replaced by analytics. We just look for data and options to take decisions. The speed is replacing the reflections. We don't reflect anymore. As an individual, we sit and we reflect on our own, but we don't sit with our team, and we don't do that anymore. So that is something we have to look into, because when the organizations are building or transforming, the biggest challenge is never the technology. Technology can be bought from anywhere, and nowadays it is very easy to implement it. It is always the mindset of the leader as well as their people. They still want to be seen, they still want to be valued, they still want to know that they matter in the organization. It's not only the AI and then generating reports and recommendations and submitting it. No, they want to feel seen, they want to feel acknowledged. And technology may enhance efficiency, but only human leadership creates the belongingness. And without belongingness, I don't think there can be loyalty or engagement of employees. So everything goes hand in hand. It is all leadership's responsibility to put everything together. And according to me, there are certain areas where a leadership should focus on. There are 4 traits I've identified which a leadership should have to bridge a gap between AI and human touch. So the first one is empathy. In this age of speed and automation, empathy is not softness. In old times, we used to think, okay, leaders should be authoritative and strong. But then today's time, it is not a weakness. The softness is strength. People may forget what kind of presentation you made, or what kind of even the motivational speech you gave, but they will never forget how you made them feel. The second one is ethics. AI can generate most practical options for you, most cost-effective options for you, but the leaders must choose responsibly. It's not that only the cost-effective option should be chosen, but the integrity has to be taken into consideration when you're choosing the option. And that is something we cannot automate. It is only leader who has to do it. The third one, according to me, is continuous learning. So as we have come long way, personally me, after 20 years of working in education industry, I have no shame in saying that I don't know something, that I don't know AI, and I want to learn. I want to register myself in a course and learn AI, not because I want to get into AI, but because I want to learn, connect with the people who are implementing it and working on it. So that is why I'm learning. A true leader is the one who says that I don't know this, but I want to learn, and then or unlearn, and then evolve with it and take your team along with it. The fourth one is purpose. So people don't follow, as I said, the titles anymore. A CEO or director is not followed by only because of his designations, or position. They are followed by their authenticity. They are followed because they give meaning to the work, and they are followed because they stand for something. They are not just hiding behind the data, or let's say the reflections are taken into consideration, not the options created by AI. So that is where the true leadership with the human touch comes into picture. So in future, the technical skills will make you employable for sure. This is something which is very important and everybody should know. That is one of the reason I am learning it also. So everybody must be aware of what is the new trend and what is going on around the world. But the human skill will make you irreplaceable as a leader and as a human being as well. So technology and leaderships are not competing forces. I believe they complement each other. And in today's world, especially, none of them can survive without each other. So when the technology drives efficiency and leadership drives humanity, I think organizations don't just grow, they will inspire the world. Now you can notice that there are some organizations who balances between both the things, and then they are the successful ones. When I reflect on my own journey, I have an engineering degree. So from there I started, and then I got into the education leadership. And now I work closely with the students, mentor them, and do some advisory services for them. One thing stands out very clearly throughout the corporates and education industry. The most successful institutions are not the organizations who have the very advanced systems. Everybody has advanced systems, and nobody wants to be left behind. They are the ones where the leadership genuinely care about people. They genuinely connect with people. They are always there for them. Otherwise, technology is everywhere. It is not a big problem to buy it from outside and just implement it. So when I'm guiding students who are uncertain about their future or supporting team through the chain, technology supports the process. Definitely, the SOPs, we were talking about SOPs or the procedure or implementation or training also. Technology definitely support. We can do onboarding training as well. It can be automated very easily. But the human connection, that is what creates the impact. If an employee is joining an organization and we are doing automated onboarding for that employee, do you think he will be connected with the organization? Definitely not. So a human connection is definitely, yes, it should not be independently done. It should be complementing each other. So I recommend that both the things should be together and it should be balancing out. So personally, in my leadership, I have always adopted quiet and empathetic leadership, wherein I was always been very, very close with the employees, whether it is technology or their personal life. It has always been balanced from my side. So that is what I strongly believe in, and that's what I recommend to others also, because human touch will always win. Now, so perhaps the question is not will AI replace leaders? I don't think so. That will ever happen. But the real question is, how do we lead more meaningfully in this technology-driven world? My recommendation to all of you, I don't know, you can give me more recommendation, which I will implement, that the AI should handle only data, not human. And the human should provide directions based on that data and recommendation. So let AI enhance the efficiency, but let leadership preserve the humanity. Because the future will not only belong to AI, it will belong to leaders who will combine intelligence with empathy, innovation with integrity, and ambition with purpose.